welcome to Sarcasm in the Middle. I'm Tammy. So I am currently on my way to work. I'm actually driving to work right now. It's like 6:40 something in the morning. So I'm gonna get to work like extra early today just because I do have a lot of stuff to do. Today is STAAR review day. So I live in Texas and I work in Texas, school district in Texas. I teach, if you do not know already, I teach U.S. history, 8th grade, which, if you've taught before, is a very, very, very special grade level. It's a very special age for the kids. They're in between, like, they want to be taken care of, but at the same time, they want to act like they're grown. And yeah, sometimes you gotta, like, put them back in their place and be like, you're still a kid. Like, you cannot step to an adult like that. But I do, overall, I do enjoy teaching 8th grade. It's been an enjoyment, and I think that's one reason why I've been told multiple times, go teach high school, go teach high school. And I think one of the reasons I've kind of like been dragging my feet on that is because I really actually do like teaching my 8th graders. I think one of the only drawbacks to teaching my 8th graders is they're at an age where they don't visit. They don't necessarily visit you. I do have some students that do come back and, say, hey, Miss Walters, you still here? But overall, they don't necessarily visit all the time. But anyway, so I am starting my STAAR review. Like I said, I teach U.S. history. We do have a STAAR test for 8th grade. Our students are tested in the 4 main subjects for 8th grade. So that's ELAR, that is science, that is math, and then it is social studies. And I am so late in the game on doing my STAAR review, but I have to be honest, like, my kids have, and I don't know, like, definitely say in the comments if you've been getting this experience as well, but my kids have just not been getting it. They haven't been putting in the same effort that my previous students have on wanting to learn the material, understanding the steps that needs to be taken. They lack the motivation. They lack the, it's kind of like they come to school and they're like, oh, miss, this is so boring. And I'm just like, it's history. And they're like, yeah, but if it's boring, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm just like, oh my God, like, why are we raising our children like this now? Because I always tell my kids, when you get to adulthood, this is how adulthood works. Granted, I know they're kids, but I am a strong believer in preparing them for the real world. And when we set them up where everything that they do must be entertainment, we are setting them up for failure, because when they become an adult and they go work for a job, they're thinking like, well, I'm gonna be making money, so it's good. No, it's not. Like, I tell them all the time, like, I am a teacher. I love my job. And still, y'all know that I'm not always like upbeat and all about it and everything like that. So anyway, I did want to talk about like what I'm planning to do for STAAR review as I'm driving. That's the reason why I'm kind of like not in the camera necessarily. But what I'm planning on doing for STAAR review is, because my kids, they don't have the comprehension that previous years my students have gotten at this point. Like, there are things that they're not remembering from like unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and those were the easiest units, right? And I break down like what is the percentage of the STAAR with them, and they just do not understand. Like, we have to really and I'll do the breakdown in another video on exactly like how me and my department break it down. If I haven't told you already, which I probably haven't, I am the department chair for my social studies department on my campus. So that just makes it where I'm not only responsible for like my numbers for the STAAR, but I also have to sit down and have a conversation with my principal and with my admin on the performance of my whole department. So that can just be a little nerve-wracking sometimes on, just trying to help my teachers to get where they need to be so that their students can get to where they need to be, especially when my own students aren't where they need to be themselves. And that's just an honest fact. Like that's honestly like how it is. But anyway, so for my STAAR review, which I'm starting now, we only have 9 days before the social studies STAAR. Just because it took longer to really get through the material, the curriculum, because our kids kept getting pulled for days. We kept getting days for this, days for that. And so a lot of those days, there's a lot to cover in U.S. history 8th grade. And a lot of times people don't realize like how difficult it is when we're constantly getting days taken away from us, teaching days, in order to do this and to do that. But I digress. So for my review for my first day, I'm going to be setting up their seats. So my kids are usually in group, and I'm going to try it with these students. They haven't been the best at group work, but I am going to try to use the same methods that I've been using. So I normally put my kids in groups. I put them in groups of 4, groups of 5, and I put them in groups based on their level, so that for my high kids, while I'm not saying that I ignore them, because I actually don't, but for my high kids, I don't give them as much attention. I correct them. I'll walk around and tell them, like, if they're going in the wrong direction, or if they need to change an answer or something like that. But I really try to focus on my lower kids, especially my bubble kids. So bubble kids are the ones who, like, they're tethering on the edge between passing and failing, and I really try to focus on them. I also try to focus on the students who really want my help. At this point, there are kids who just don't want my help. Like, they just like, ugh, miss. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna let you do you. So anyway, so I put them in groups. I do that. I also give them a goal throughout this whole entire week. I'll be calling them up to just have a little bit of a data conference with them, kind of go over what they've been doing for the major assessments all year and what I need them to be doing at some point. Oh my gosh, my car is like so cold, and that means it's cold outside. Hold on one second, y'all, because I'm gonna have to put some heat on up in here, put my seat warmers on, because I'm like, oh my god, like my hands are cold. And I normally don't get cold that quickly because I'm from the north. Like, I miss winter so much living in Texas. But anyway, so like I said, I put them in groups. I make actually review folders, and so everything that they're going to need for their review every single day will be put in their folder. For the first 10 minutes of review, we do a brain dump, and I'll definitely show that in my next video. So for review, we do a brain dump. So the first 10 minutes of every single class, my students do a brain dump in silence, no help whatsoever, just trying to vomit up all the information that they could possibly remember about the entire school year that I've been teaching them. And they just write down whatever they can remember, and I break up the brain dump. I got this idea from this group that I'm on Facebook, where you break it up by eras. So, and they just write a little information every single day based on the era, right? So it has a box for exploration. So they write down what can they remember about exploration, is normally like the countries, and why they explored the New World. And so we do that. And after that, then I give them this questions packet. So it's questions and vocabulary. And so they work on the questions of vocabulary. I walk around and help them with their strategies, because they definitely need to work on their strategies. So they work on their strategies, highlighting, identifying keywords, annotating if they can, and they go through that whole process. This year I'm doing my review completely on paper, because what I've noticed is when we were doing online work, my students would just copy and paste it into Google and they would just get the answer. And I was just like, that's not beneficial to you, because on the test you won't be able to do that. So I'm going back to paper because it gives me a more realistic viewpoint of exactly where my students are when it's on paper, compared to when it's online and they're cheating up the wazoo. Okay, so anyway, that is what we're going to be doing for the first day. I do have a review packet that me and my other grade level teachers, we took a PDF file and we made it into a Word document, and we kind of did guided notes on it. So what we do is we go over it and we're highlighting the main topics, subjects, not subjects, the main topics that are going to be tested. There's certain things that are tested every single year on the Social Studies 8 STAAR, and so we just emphasize those for our students so they know. And then my students, if they want, they emphasize things on their own on what they need to study because they don't remember it, or it doesn't quickly come to their head. But so that's going to be what I'm going to be doing for today. And I am still far away from work. But yes, I am going to upload another video when I get to work. Well, not upload another video, but I want to do a video where I kind of show you exactly what I use for the first couple days of review, and break down even more how it goes. I just don't want this video to be too long. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching Sarcasm in the Middle. I'm Tammy, and you have a great day.